Try not to gasp when you see these black celebrities and their lookalikes. That will shock you. You're about to question everything you thought you knew about celebrity faces. From A-list actors to legendary singers, some black celebrities have lookalikes so convincing, it'll make you gasp, literally. Imagine mistaking a gospel icon for a rapper or a UN leader for a Hollywood star. Sounds wild? Just wait. These jaw-dropping doppelgangers have fooled fans, photographers, and even family members. Watch closely, because by the end, you might not even trust your own eyes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Legends of Black Excellence, where we spotlight the most mind-blowing stories in black culture. Don Cheadle, 60 years old. Don Cheadle is no stranger to accolades, having earned critical acclaim for his commanding roles in films like Hotel Rwanda, Crash, and Iron Man 3. Yet despite a career spanning over 3 decades, he was unexpectedly thrust into the internet spotlight again in 2023, not for a performance, but for a hilarious case of mistaken identity. On November 19, 2023, during an NBA game between the Los Angeles Lakers and Houston Rockets, cameras panned to a man courtside, and the broadcast boldly labeled him Don Cheadle. The only problem? It wasn't Cheadle. It was Grammy-nominated rapper Freddie Gibbs. The mistake exploded online within minutes, as fans took to Twitter and Instagram to point out the blunder. Rather than stay silent, both men handled it with class and humor. Gibbs uploaded a video with Cheadle on social media, captioning it, "It was my big brother, not me." In the video, the two joked about the confusion, hugged, and laughed it off, cementing the moment as a new internet classic. This wasn't the first time the two were mixed up. In 2022, someone mistakenly wished Gibbs a happy birthday using a picture of Cheadle. Rather than get upset, Gibbs leaned into the joke and called Cheadle his mentor. Cheadle, clearly amused, responded supportively. Fans have long commented on their similar jawlines, facial expressions, and confident demeanor. Both also share a knack for intense eye contact. Cheadle's is often brooding and serious in dramatic roles, while Gibbs's is fierce and comedic in music videos. This subtle parallel only adds fuel to the visual resemblance. Don Cheadle, born November 29, 1964, has enjoyed a long Hollywood tenure defined by depth, grace, and transformative acting. Still, the incident with Gibbs introduced him to a younger, social media-savvy generation in the most unexpected way. The fact that he embraced the moment shows why fans respect him, not just as a performer, but as a person who doesn't take himself too seriously. In a world where celebrity personas are often guarded, this mix-up was refreshing, and proved that even Hollywood royalty can have a good laugh when the world mistakes them for someone else. Andra Day, 40 years old. Andra Day has carved out an extraordinary path as both a vocalist and actress, but there's one recurring public reaction she never expected, being constantly mistaken for global icon Rihanna. With her radiant complexion, sultry eyes, and bold sense of style, Day's resemblance to the Barbadian pop star has gone viral more than once. Born on December 30, 1984, in Edmonds, Washington, Andra rose to fame with her 2015 Grammy-nominated debut album Cheers to the Fall. But it was her transformative performance as jazz legend Billie Holiday in the United States vs. Billie Holiday, 2021, that earned her a Golden Globe Award and an Academy Award nomination, cementing her status as a powerhouse performer. Despite her accolades, casual fans, and even some industry insiders have often done double takes, questioning, is that Rihanna? Social media has fueled the confusion. Multiple tweets and TikToks have compared their similar facial structures, especially their almond-shaped eyes and sharp cheekbones. A viral post in 2021 suggested they were separated at birth, while others have begged for the two to collaborate, perhaps in a film where they play long-lost sisters. While their musical styles differ, Day leans into vintage soul and jazz, while Rihanna is known for genre-blending pop. Both artists share an effortless glamour and a commanding screen presence. Their fashion choices also overlap: bold lipstick, vintage silhouettes, and fearless red carpet moments. Some fans argue the resemblance is strongest when Day wears her signature head wraps and updos, evoking Rihanna's high-fashion editorial looks. Andra has embraced the comparisons with humor, occasionally replying to fans' comments with winking emojis or reposting memes. Yet, she remains grounded in her own identity. In interviews, she emphasizes the hard work it took to break into entertainment and the intentionality behind every artistic decision. Interestingly, both Day and Rihanna have used their platforms to advocate for mental health, women's empowerment, and racial justice. The overlap in values only deepens the admiration from fans who see them as modern black icons. Although the two have never publicly addressed each other about their resemblance, the internet remains obsessed. Until they share a selfie or screen, one question continues to echo across comment sections: wait, is that Andra or Rihanna? Kofi Annan, 80 years old. As the first black African Secretary General of the United Nations and a Nobel Peace Prize laureate, Kofi Annan left behind a legacy of diplomacy, leadership, and humanitarian progress. But even a man of global stature was not immune to the occasional, and hilarious, case of mistaken identity. After stepping down from the UN in 2006, Annan took a quiet retreat to a village in Italy. That's where the unexpected happened. A group of fans mistook him for Morgan Freeman. Rather than correct them, Annan signed an autograph, Morgan Freeman, and returned to his peaceful getaway, later recounting the story in a 2012 interview with his signature humor and humility. He reflected on the irony of being a man who needed no introduction, only to be confused with someone else entirely. Born April 8, 1938, in Kumasi, Ghana, Annan led the United Nations from 1997 to 2006 and was widely praised for reforming UN peacekeeping operations and advocating for global health and human rights. He was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2001 alongside the organization for their work in creating a more peaceful world. Yet, to a handful of starstruck tourists, he was simply that actor with the deep voice. The resemblance is understandable. Both Annan and Freeman exuded quiet authority, silver hair, dignified expressions, and calm, measured voices that could soothe or command, depending on the moment. Their presence commanded respect, whether in front of the Security Council or a Hollywood camera. But the incident in Italy reminded the world of something else. Even the most distinguished individuals have human moments. Annan didn't take offense. Instead, he saw it as a funny footnote in a life otherwise filled with monumental achievements. Kofi Annan passed away on August 18, 2018, at age 80. But to the lucky few in Italy who got that unexpected signature, he will always be remembered as the diplomat who once played along as Morgan Freeman. Kirk Franklin, 55 years old. For decades, Kirk Franklin has been a transformative figure in gospel music, winning 19 Grammy Awards and redefining the genre for a new generation. But despite being hailed as a pioneer of modern worship, Franklin has been repeatedly mistaken for someone whose lyrics come from a very different pulpit, rapper Plies. Born January 26, 1970, in Fort Worth, Texas, Franklin is best known for fusing traditional gospel with contemporary hip-hop and R&B, creating timeless anthems like Stomp, Revolution, and I Smile. But on the internet, another type of revolution was brewing, a viral debate over whether Kirk Franklin and Plies were the same person. It started with side-by-side comparison memes and escalated when fans began tagging both men in photos, interviews, and even music performances. Their nearly identical height, clean-cut beards, radiant skin, and mischievous grins fueled the rumor mill. Even the Breakfast Club couldn't resist discussing it, prompting Franklin to FaceTime Plies during a live interview and jokingly declare, "He is not me, and I am not him." Rather than shut down the fun, Franklin leaned into the narrative. The two began posting about each other, teasing collaborations and even doing joint charity work, most notably teaming up to support Hurricane Ian victims in Florida. Their lighthearted exchanges delighted fans, who loved seeing two artists from opposite ends of the musical spectrum embrace the lookalike lore with grace and humor. Despite the physical similarities, their public images couldn't be more different. Plies is known for his raw lyrics and viral, sweet savage humor, while Franklin maintains a spiritually driven brand, though he's never been shy about addressing real-life struggles and faith with honesty. That duality, sacred and streetwise, only made the doppelganger dynamic more amusing. In the end, Kirk Franklin's willingness to play along proves why he remains not just a musical icon, but a cultural one. He continues to tour, release music, and inspire new generations of artists, all while occasionally being asked, Wait, are you Plies? Zendaya, 28 years old. Zendaya, born September 1, 1996, is one of the most versatile stars of her generation, an Emmy-winning actress, singer, and fashion muse who began as a Disney Channel teen and evolved into a Hollywood powerhouse. Yet with all her distinct accolades and red carpet dominance, she's still no stranger to being confused with someone else, early 2000s R&B star Cassie Ventura. The comparisons date back to Zendaya's early fame, when fans began posting side-by-side images of the two women, highlighting their similar almond eyes, high cheekbones, and effortlessly cool aura. At one point, even Zendaya acknowledged it herself, tweeting in 2013 that Cassie was a vibe and calling her a lookalike sister. Cassie, known for her hit Me and You and her edgy half-shaved hairstyle, was once considered a style trailblazer. Her soft-spoken persona and visual presence earned her a cult following, especially in fashion circles. Zendaya, meanwhile, grew into a style chameleon, appearing on countless Vogue covers and known for her bold collaborations with stylist Law Roach. Still, fans continue to draw parallels between their understated glamour and camera-ready poise. But the resemblance isn't just physical. Both women have become beauty icons in their own right, Cassie during the MySpace and BET era, and Zendaya in the age of TikTok and global blockbusters. And though their careers are different, Cassie focused more on music and modeling, Zendaya on acting, the mystery of their shared image still makes headlines. What fuels the fascination? Perhaps it's the idea of two different generations expressing beauty and confidence in similar ways. Or maybe it's the idea that Cassie helped pave a path that Zendaya has expanded on and elevated to global levels. Regardless, Zendaya has always handled the comparisons with elegance. She continues to challenge industry norms, star in award-winning roles like Euphoria and Dune, and serve as a role model for young black girls worldwide. And while the Cassie resemblance might prompt a second glance, Zendaya always makes sure the final impression is uniquely her own. Amber Riley, 39 years old. Amber Riley, born February 15, 1986, is an acclaimed singer and actress best known for her breakout role as Mercedes Jones on the hit TV series Glee. A powerhouse vocalist with commanding stage presence, she has earned accolades across television, Broadway, and music, including winning Dancing with the Stars and starring in the West End production of Dreamgirls. Yet, despite her unique achievements, Riley has spent years being mistaken for fellow actress Raven Goodwin. The confusion is so prevalent that fans dubbed them Hollywood twins. From red carpets to TV clips, viewers constantly comment on their similar features: round faces, dazzling smiles, expressive eyes, and a shared sense of warmth and relatability. Even their vocal cadence and on-screen energy draw comparisons. Rather than distance themselves from the mix-up, the two women embraced it. In fact, in 2022, they starred together in the Lifetime thriller Single Black Female, a suspense-filled drama that plays directly into the twin narrative. Their chemistry was so believable that fans demanded a sequel, and they delivered. The follow-up, released in March 2023, only amplified the playful public fascination with their lookalike status. Both women have expressed admiration for each other. Amber once told Entertainment Tonight that she found Raven incredibly talented and down-to-earth, while Raven said she was honored to share the screen with someone as accomplished as Riley. The mutual respect elevated their collaboration from novelty to something more meaningful, a celebration of black women in entertainment challenging the industry's narrow beauty standards. Amber Riley's career continues to evolve beyond acting. She released solo music under the name Riley, showcasing her vocal range in R&B. She's also used her platform to speak out on mental health, body positivity, and racism in Hollywood. Despite public confusion over her identity, she remains fiercely herself. And maybe that's the lesson: it's not about who's who, but about two black women thriving in a space that wasn't built for them, and doing it with joy, talent, and grace. When fans say, "Wait, is that Amber or Raven?" the only right answer is, either way, you're watching a star. Morris Chestnut, 56 years old. Morris Chestnut, born January 1, 1969, has been melting screens since the early 90s, first gaining attention in Boys and the Hood and later becoming the leading man in classics like The Best Man, The Brothers, and The Perfect Holiday. Known for his chiseled jawline, smooth demeanor, and effortlessly cool persona, Chestnut has long been a symbol of black male excellence in Hollywood. But for years, one strange joke has followed him online, and even in real life, he's been mistaken for Charlemagne the God. It sounds absurd at first. Charlemagne, the bold and often controversial radio host of The Breakfast Club, shares little in common with Chestnut in tone or career. But fans, and even strangers, have leaned into the confusion due to their shared bald heads, deep voices, and similar builds. The comparison is so widely discussed that Chestnut was directly asked about it during a promotional appearance for the TV show Reasonable Doubt in 2022. DJ Envy jokingly asked if, with your eyes closed, Charlemagne could pass as Morris. The room burst into laughter. Chestnut played along graciously, revealing that someone at a valet stand had once handed him a car key and said, "Love your show, Charlemagne." Not wanting to ruin the moment, he thanked the fan and moved on. Social media ran with it. One viral tweet joked that Charlemagne looked like Morris Chestnut ordered off Wish. Another said the resemblance was like comparing luxury batteries to dollar store versions. Despite the comedy, Morris never let the comparisons define him. With decades of consistent work, he has earned a reputation for being one of the most reliable and beloved actors in Black Hollywood. His performances are marked by emotional nuance, maturity, and charm, qualities rarely attributed to the brash, unfiltered Charlemagne. Still, the contrast between them is part of the fun. Chestnut's grace under pressure versus Charlemagne's confrontational edge makes the mistaken identity even more amusing. And to their credit, both men seem to enjoy the banter. In a world quick to stereotype or oversimplify, this mix-up reminds us how easily perception can distort reality. But whether you're laughing at the confusion or admiring the calm confidence of Morris Chestnut, either way, you're in good company. Julius Randle, 30 years old. Julius Randle, born November 29, 1994, is a three-time NBA All-Star known for his explosive power, versatile scoring, and on-court leadership with the New York Knicks. But for all his athletic dominance, Randle has unexpectedly gone viral off the court, for looking like someone else entirely, internet comedian Funny Marco. At first glance, it might seem like a stretch. One is a professional athlete, the other is a digital prankster famous for awkward interviews and deadpan delivery. But when photos of Randle and Marco started circulating side by side, fans couldn't ignore the similarities: tall frame, expressive eyebrows, cheeky smirks, and that specific "I'm about to say something slick" glint in the eyes. Social media took it from there. Tweets and memes exploded, calling them twins separated at birth, and joking that Julius Randle was Funny Marco's final form. Randle, known for his laid-back humor in interviews, hasn't commented publicly, but fans have continued to tag him in Funny Marco's viral clips. Marco, in turn, has leaned into the joke, even pretending to be an off-season Randle in a tongue-in-cheek post. Beyond the comedy, both men have captured attention for how they command their respective spaces. Randle dominates in the paint and consistently leads his team in points and rebounds. Marco, meanwhile, dominates TikTok and YouTube with his unpredictable interviews and pranks, earning millions of views and building a loyal following. Though they've never been seen together, yet, the possibility of a crossover has fans intrigued. Imagine Randle as a guest on Marco's talk show, or Marco showing up to Madison Square Garden in Knicks warm-ups, just to confuse the crowd. It's all fun, of course, but this lookalike pairing says something bigger: how personalities from totally different worlds can end up connected in pop culture just by the power of visual resemblance. In Randle's case, it's a chance for fans to see a softer, more humorous side of a player best known for his physical dominance. So next time you're scrolling and see someone dunking in MSG or interviewing a stranger in a parking lot, pause. It might not be who you think. Or maybe, just maybe, it's both of them, taking over the world in their own unexpected ways. Zoe Saldana, 46 years old. Zoe Saldana, born June 19, 1978, has built one of the most dynamic acting careers of her generation. With major roles in Avatar, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Star Trek, she's become the highest-grossing box office actress of all time. And yet, despite her fame, red carpet presence, and global visibility, there's one mistaken identity that just won't go away. People keep confusing her with fellow actress Thandai Newton. The resemblance has become so pervasive, even their own families have been tricked. During a 2019 appearance on The Late Late Show with James Corden, Saldana revealed that her own mother once called to congratulate her on her performance in Westworld, a show Newton stars in. Zoe had to clarify, gently, "Mom, I'm not in Westworld." The similarities are undeniable. Both actresses share striking bone structure, deep brown eyes, and slender builds. Their on-screen poise and quiet intensity can also feel alike, particularly in dramatic roles where subtle expression carries the scene. Online, fans have shared hundreds of comparison posts, joking they must be twins separated at birth or perhaps playing a cosmic game of switcheroo. The confusion goes both ways. Newton once recalled a moment at a red carpet event where British designer Victoria Beckham mistook her for Saldana and complimented her on Avatar. Newton was gracious but admitted afterward that the misidentification caught her off guard, especially given how visually distinct the two appear up close. Despite the mix-ups, both women take it in stride. Rather than show irritation, they express mutual respect. Saldana has said she finds Newton to be elegant and deeply talented, while Newton has referred to Zoe as absolutely stunning and endlessly gracious. In interviews, they've joked about playing sisters in a film, a casting decision that fans would likely cheer. What makes this particular doppelganger duo stand out is that both women are leaders in their field, activists, artists, and mothers balancing blockbuster careers with purposeful living. Their shared features may confuse the public, but their individual contributions remain crystal clear. So, whether it's Zoe in Wakanda or Thandai in Westworld, just know this: whichever one you're looking at, you're witnessing brilliance. Wesley Jonathan, 46 years old. For fans of early 2000s television, Wesley Jonathan is instantly recognizable, whether it's from his starring role as Jamal Grant in City Guys or as Gary in What I Like About You. With his signature slick smile and magnetic on-screen energy, he became a household name in teen and family sitcoms. But if you ask some fans, they'll say they've seen him doing stand-up, hosting Wild 'N Out, or even fathering 12 kids. The only catch? They're confusing him with Nick Cannon. Born October 18, 1978, Wesley Jonathan made his debut in the entertainment industry at a young age and remained active in film and TV well into adulthood. However, it was his unforgettable role as Sweetness in the 2005 cult classic Roll Bounce that sealed the confusion. The film featured Nick Cannon in a smaller role, but fans walked away assuming Cannon was Sweetness, when in fact, it was Jonathan who had stolen the show with flashy skates and charisma to match. To this day, people still credit Cannon for Jonathan's role, and memes comparing the two have circulated for over a decade. Both share a similar lean build, radiant skin tone, and fast-talking charm. And in certain lighting? Even diehard fans admit they've done a double take. Jonathan has spoken about the mix-up in interviews, noting that while it can be frustrating, he understands it's all in fun. Still, he's proud of the work he's done, emphasizing that every role he's played was earned, not borrowed. Meanwhile, Nick Cannon has never directly commented on the resemblance, though he too has faced identity confusion in his multifaceted career as host, rapper, and actor. Ultimately, this mistaken identity says more about audience perception than anything else. Wesley Jonathan continues to act, raise a family, and speak out about health and wellness, proving that while the world may occasionally confuse him with someone else, his real fans always know the difference. Mario, 38 years old. Mario, born August 27, 1986, in Baltimore, Maryland, skyrocketed to fame as a teenager with his 2004 R&B anthem, Let Me Love You. The song topped charts for weeks and established him as a soulful heartthrob with vocal prowess far beyond his years. But beyond the hits and falsetto, Mario has had to answer an unusual question over the years: are you related to Chris Rock? The confusion isn't new. According to Mario himself, he's been mistaken for the legendary comedian, particularly by older white fans, on multiple occasions. In a 2022 interview, he shared that while traveling, people would regularly stop him to ask if he was Chris Rock's son, or in some cases, if he was Chris Rock. At first, it sounds like a stretch. One is a smooth R&B crooner with a quiet demeanor, the other a loud, sharp-witted comic with an Emmy-winning stand-up legacy. But side-by-side photos reveal the similarities: the high cheekbones, the expressive eyes, and that subtly angular jawline. Both men also share an air of intensity. Rock's comes through in his punchlines, Mario's in his lyrics and stage presence. Mario met Chris Rock years ago and even joked during their interaction, "You my pops or what?" The two laughed it off, but the internet has never let go of the possibility that they could be family. Memes still circulate with captions like, "Mario Rock, same range, different genre." Despite the confusion, Mario has forged a distinct path. He's released 5 studio albums, competed on Dancing with the Stars, and appeared in TV shows like Empire and Star. In recent years, he's also become an advocate for mental health, openly discussing his experiences growing up with a mother battling addiction. The mistaken identity has never defined him, but it's become a humorous footnote in an otherwise serious and accomplished career. And if being compared to one of the greatest comedians of all time is the worst problem he faces, Mario's taking it all in stride, with charm, humility, and vocals that prove he's a star in his own right. CeeLo Green, 49 years old. CeeLo Green, born May 30, 1975, has always been larger than life, vocally, visually, and stylistically. Whether it was his early work with Goody Mob, his chart-topping solo career with songs like Forget You, or his surreal presence on The Voice, CeeLo has built a reputation as a creative force who defies genre boundaries. But while his music and wardrobe are impossible to ignore, one thing continues to surprise fans: how often he's mistaken for West Coast rap legend E40. The confusion reached peak absurdity in 2023 when a birthday party guest posted a photo thanking E40 for showing up, only it was very clearly CeeLo Green in the image. The tweet went viral, collecting over 22,000 likes in a matter of hours. Fans flooded the post with jokes, GIFs, and side-by-side photos of the two men. To add fuel to the fire, someone even photoshopped E40's face onto CeeLo's flamboyant outfit, making the mix-up a full-blown meme moment. What makes this particular doppelganger debate so amusing is how different their public personas are. E40 is known for his Bay Area slang, entrepreneurial hustle, and long-running influence in hip-hop culture. CeeLo, meanwhile, blends retro soul, funk, and pop with a flair for the eccentric. Who else could pull off arriving at the Grammys dressed in full gold armor? Still, the overlap in facial features, round face, beard, and expressive eyes, has been enough to trip up casual fans. CeeLo's reaction? He responded to the viral mishap with a single emoji, neutral face. E40, for his part, remained quiet, but fans joked that he was probably too busy writing another slang dictionary. In a world where celebrity identity is part brand, part performance, and part internet folklore, CeeLo Green's case proves that sometimes the camera, and the crowd, gets it hilariously wrong. Whether he's singing, coaching, or getting misidentified, one thing's for sure: no one forgets CeeLo. Michael Clarke Duncan, 54 years old. Michael Clarke Duncan had one of the most commanding presences ever captured on screen. Born December 10, 1957, he stood 6 feet 5 inches and spoke with a deep, resonant voice that could move audiences to tears or awe. He's best remembered for his Oscar-nominated role as John Coffey in The Green Mile, a performance so moving that it left a permanent mark on film history. But for years, many moviegoers confused him with fellow actor Ving Rhames. This wasn't just a casual resemblance. Fans, critics, and even entertainment reporters would occasionally misattribute Duncan's roles to Rhames or vice versa. Both actors share similar physical characteristics: broad-shouldered builds, shaved heads, intense stares, and both often played roles that required a mix of strength and emotional complexity. Rhames was Melvin in Baby Boy and Luther Stickle in Mission: Impossible. Duncan was Bear in Armageddon and Kingpin in Daredevil. To the untrained eye, their careers blurred together. One particularly infamous mix-up happened on social media when fans praised Ving Rhames for his work in The Green Mile. Others quickly corrected the error, but it became clear how deep the confusion ran. Even Duncan's mother once joked in an interview that people kept asking her about her son in Pulp Fiction. Duncan took the confusion in stride. He expressed admiration for Rhames and noted that the comparisons were flattering, though he wished more people remembered his name for the work he put in. He frequently reminded fans that while their appearances might overlap, their life stories, and filmographies, were entirely their own. Tragically, Michael Clarke Duncan passed away on September 3, 2012, from complications following a heart attack. He was 54. His legacy lives on through the roles he embodied with quiet strength and deep humanity. And while people might still mistake him for someone else, true fans know, there was only one Michael Clarke Duncan, and his performances can never be duplicated. Coco Jones, 27 years old. Coco Jones, born January 4, 1997, began her career in the Disney spotlight, but over the past few years, she's carved out a powerhouse persona of her own, through soulful vocals, authentic storytelling, and a fierce sense of self. Yet, as she's risen in fame, one thing keeps following her: people constantly mistake her for Jennifer Hudson. The resemblance isn't just about looks, though there are plenty. Both women are tall, elegant, with striking bone structures and commanding stage presence. But what really throws fans is their vocal similarity: bold, gospel-rooted voices capable of blowing the roof off any room. This uncanny match reached new heights when Coco appeared on The Jennifer Hudson Show, where even Hudson herself admitted, "People think we're twins." The crowd roared in agreement, and with good reason. In that moment, viewers saw what fans online had been buzzing about for years. From red carpet appearances to performance clips, side-by-side comparisons of the two stars have gone viral, with some fans even insisting Coco should play Jennifer in a future biopic. When Hudson asked the audience if they saw it, a unanimous yes rang out. But Coco isn't just someone else's double. After her breakout role in Disney's Let It Shine, she faced a lull in her career that almost made her leave the industry. Instead, she re-emerged on her own terms, releasing R&B records independently before signing with Def Jam and dropping her acclaimed EP What I Didn't Tell You in 2022. Tracks like ICU and Double Back proved her talent wasn't a coincidence. Coco has welcomed the comparison to Hudson, calling it the ultimate compliment. But she's also clear, her journey is her own. Through open discussions about colorism in the industry and self-love, she's become a role model for young women who see themselves in her, not just for how she looks, but for how she overcomes. The comparisons may continue, but Coco Jones isn't trying to imitate anyone. She's creating her own legacy, one note, one scene, and one mistaken identity at a time. Jose Oliveira, 44 years old. In the remote island nation of Cape Verde, a humble tour guide named Jose Oliveira lives a life that seems completely ordinary, until he steps outside. Then, his day transforms into something out of a political sitcom. Why? Because nearly every person who crosses his path thinks he's Barack Obama. Born in 1980, Oliveira lives in São Vicente and works as a tour operator. But it's his face, not his profession, that has earned him viral attention. With his slim build, salt and pepper hair, and that unmistakable warm smile, he's a near-perfect match for the 44th President of the United States. Add sunglasses, and it becomes borderline eerie. "People call me Mr. Obama everywhere I go," he told reporters. "I've gotten used to it." He wasn't always aware of the resemblance. It wasn't until Obama's 2008 presidential campaign that strangers began to stop him on the street. Tourists would request selfies, locals would do double takes, and some even asked if he was part of the president's extended family. Though he laughs about it, Oliveira says it's a daily occurrence, and estimates he poses for at least 15 photos a day. Despite the attention, he remains grounded. He's never tried to capitalize on his accidental fame, though he admits that the recognition sometimes helps with his tour business. A photo with Obama becomes a highlight for many travelers. Still, Oliveira insists he's just an ordinary father of 5, trying to make a living. His uncanny resemblance even caught international headlines when a tourist's photo of him went viral. People online couldn't believe the similarity. Some joked that Obama had retired quietly to Cape Verde under a new identity. Others called for Oliveira to become an official impersonator. So far, he's declined. What makes his story so charming is the simplicity of it, a man just living his life, kindly indulging strangers who think they've met a former president. In a world often obsessed with celebrity, Jose Oliveira offers a moment of joy, reminding us that sometimes, reality and resemblance can blur in the most unexpected and entertaining ways. Now that you've seen these jaw-dropping lookalikes, we have to ask, were you fooled too? Some say it's pure coincidence, others believe these resemblances are almost eerie. But here's the real question, which pair shocked you the most, and do you think any of them could actually be related? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's settle this once and for all. And if you love uncovering surprising connections and celebrating Black brilliance, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Legends of Black Excellence, where culture meets curiosity in every episode.